Hey gamers, it's Work, D&D Hobbyist, your buddy. Back again with my October session wrap-up. Again, for people that don't know what this channel is, the D&D Hobbyist channel is a video reflection on my once-a-month Sunday campaign. We're playing 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. We're playing the written campaign Tomb of Annihilation, and we are getting pretty close to the end. I know that I said last time that I probably had two sessions left. I had planned on having 2 sessions left, but you know how it is whenever you're running games. So my players had totally different ideas. I felt like I was moderately prepared. One of the good things about a monthly game is that you do have quite a bit of time to prepare, as opposed to like a weekly game, you're pretty much pulling it out of your butt every week. With the once a month, you can kind of read everything, you can kind of make yourself some notes, you can, put in some adequate prep time. So for October, what I had done, it was almost exactly 1 month. We're kind of going, I think it's like the second week of the month. So what I did was I read through everything right after our session in September, and then I Saturday for most of the day I kind of went through really in depth of what I thought they were going to do, and had everything printed out, and I had lots of notes, and I had everything ready to go. And then they showed up. I have right now 3 players. So I had all 3 players, which are Gabe, who's playing a half-orc barbarian, Alicia, who's playing a dark elf druid, and Connor, who's playing a half-elf rogue. So the 3 of them are deep into the Tomb of Annihilation. They're on like the last level, effectively the last level, the level underneath they were in the Gears of Fate. Yeah. So they're in the Gears of Fate level. And they've done pretty much everything. There's like 2 rooms that they didn't really do. Okay, they found the Hall of Ruin, I believe it's called, or Hall of Decay, where all of your items, if they're not magical, are destroyed. They're rendered inoperable, which it seemed a little weird that the room itself is littered with armor and weapons and all kinds of things that are all unusable. And it seems like if metal and stuff there and it degrades stuff that quickly, then it should just be like piles of dust. But they have debris and things in there. So everybody went in there. They figured out that the doppelganger is not a doppelganger because his armor... I had said that like all the non-magical armor just basically disintegrated and fell off. So I kind of had to retcon that because the description of the room basically didn't match up with that. So yeah, we had several characters that didn't have any armor at all. The barbarian specifically, which didn't really hurt him too much, and the NPCs. So at this point, they have 2 NPCs. They have Lucana, who was a champion warrior from ancient Omu and was with the party. They freed her from the mirror. And they have the doppelganger from the mirror, who's pretending to be a character that we made up, Biff Brightblade. He's like a human fighter. So they're going through the Hall of Ruin. They see the stairs down, and the stairs down is where the hags are. It actually takes you right to the soulmonger and the door that uses the skeleton keys and all of that stuff. And they were like, And they went all the way back back through the gears of hate. They went into the gears of hate. They're communicating with Stima. Stima is still in the control room. They're communicating with Message, and they tell her, "Hey, turn the gears again so that we can get to this. We think that there's other areas that we probably missed." I don't know why they thought this. I don't know where they got that idea, but I was like, oh, all right. So that she turned it, and they got to go into, there's like a little triangle room north of one of the gears, and it's like where the gas comes from that turns the shambling mounds and alives the shambling mounds. And there was a dead member of the company of the Yellow Banner in there, and Brightlane's like, "Oh no, it's that guy from the company of the Yellow Banner. We used to be friends. Oh no, I'm so upset that he's dead." And everybody's like, yeah, we all know you're a doppelganger. He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, buddy." So they loot him. I think they got like one thing off of him. I forget what it was. They had also, before they went into the Hall of Decay, they had gotten, from Queen Napaka. They gotten from Queen Napaka, from her tomb, a necklace of fireballs, and it was a trapped necklace of fireballs. And at one point, they had said, "Well, we can always use the necklace of fireballs." And I said, wait. I said, no one's attuned to the necklace of fireballs. No one can use it. And they were like, "What?" And I said, "No one's attuned to it. No one's even put it on." And she goes, "Well," this is Alicia. She goes, "Well, Sal will put it on. Sal's the sorcerer. He's still an NPC. Used to be a player. He ghosted us. I don't know exactly what the story is there." So I said, "Sal wants to put on the necklace of fireballs," and she's like, "Yeah, maybe I'll be able to use it or something." And I said, "Okay." He puts on the necklace of fireballs. All the fireballs go off. Everybody needs to roll, deck saves, and everybody survived. I think everybody survived for sure. But they were pretty hurt, and at this point they don't really have a whole lot of spells or anything. Like, they're pretty spent. So they found where the company of the Yellow Banner guy was, and then they decided that there was probably another room that they couldn't see in another setting. So they turned the cogs again, and then they went into there was a room where Chakagare was a warrior of ancient Omu, and he rode a golden mastodon, and somebody sent him to hell, and he rode that mastodon home from hell. So they go into this room, and it's the golden mastodon, and it's actually plated in gold, and it looks real. And all around it are the murals telling the story of, he went in and he fought all these hells and these different levels and everything. And they tried to figure out what to do, and they poked around, and they looked at stuff, and they were afraid to touch the mastodon. Like, they thought maybe something's going on with the mastodon. Hard to say. So they kind of looked around, and they hemmed and hawed, and they tried to figure some stuff out. And they were like, "Man, maybe we should turn it," because like they could see where it was on a pedestal that turned, and there were scratches in the stone, like it was supposed to turn. And they were trying to turn it, and it weighs several tons, and they couldn't get it to turn. And they were racking their brains and everything. And, I forget what I did. I gave somebody a roll, or I gave somebody a way to figure out that the pedestal that the Mastodon was on was the same shape as the golden lever in the control room, and they passed. This was after they pretty much just couldn't figure anything else out. I kind of threw them a lifeline. So one of the characters figured it out. I think it was Uriel. It might have been Steema. Figured it out. Said, "Hey, Steema, why don't you pull that lever?" Okay, so they pull the lever. Boom, the Mastodon starts to turn. So the first round, it spawns Barb Devils. And there's like 4 Barb Devils, and they're fighting these Barb Devils. Oh, and fire's going off everywhere. There's fire everywhere, and they had to get like on the pedestal on the Mastodon. So they're fighting these Barb Devils that the fire doesn't hurt at all. They're fighting these Barb Devils, and they're like hiding on this Mastodon. They're cowering on this Mastodon. And then the Mastodon turns again. Oh, excuse me. I always yawn during these. I need to check if there's a gas leak down here. Carbon monoxide or something. Shifts again. Okay, Bearded Devils. Now there's 3 Bearded Devils. Oh, crap. So they're fighting these Bearded Devils. And then the next round, the third round, it turns again. And bang, there's Bone Devils. I think maybe Bone Devils or Spike Devils. Or there's 2 of these devils. And they're worse than any of them. So they're fighting. They've killed like 2 of the Barb Devils, and they're fighting. They're still fighting the Bearded Devils, and the Bearded Devils are pretty tough, actually. So now they're fighting these 2 guys, and they're like trolls, they're like devil trolls. And they're fighting these 2 things, and they're trying to stay out of the fire, and they're just getting wasted. And it turns again, and there's this great big horn devil, large devil. And same thing, now they're fighting it, and they're fighting these other guys, and Lucanu and Biff Brightblade are fighting, and everybody's fighting, and they're doing the best that they can. And then it cranks again, and now there's an Aaron Yes in there. And Aaron Yes is like a fallen angel. There's like a dude in plate mail with like a flaming sword, and oh my god, and they're fighting and fighting and fighting, and they're taking damage, and they're soaking damage, and they're drinking all their pots, and they're drinking all their pots, and they're eating all their special effect food, and they're just basically like going through all the consumables. It was really an unnecessary fight that was so difficult, and it drained them down so much. And Biff Brightblade died, but everybody else was okay. I think only 1 person actually went down. Maybe 2 people went down. But yeah, Biff went down, dead, died in the fire, and I think somebody else went down and they got him up. Poured a potion down their throat or something. So when they finally killed everybody, the fire all stopped, and out came the Revenant of Chakagare, and he's got his skull chalice, which is one of the legendary treasures. And they're all just wailing on Chakagare. Chakagare didn't deserve this. Chakagare, like, they all felt bad. They're like, "We don't want to fight you, Chakagare. Why are you attacking us?" And they basically, turned him into a gaseous cloud, and he'll go reform somewhere and come back. And they got the skull chalice, and they're like, "Jeez. Okay, well, I guess we'll just go back to the Hall of Ruin." So they go back to the Hall of Ruins. There's nowhere to go. They try to go back to the office and sleep there, and they know they can't sleep there. And then they go back to the Room of Tranquility, which the Room of Tranquility I let them sleep in last time and rest and level. And I had decided that I wouldn't allow them to do that again. So when they get to the room, I said that they were able to see them in there before they actually entered into the room, but there were 4 whites and 2 tomb guardians in there, and they attacked them anyway. Totally out of resources, like stumbling and bumbling, like totally exhausted. Nope, let's go into another fight. So they go into the Room of Tranquility, they fight these wights, they fight these Tomb Gardens, they manage to once again come out victorious. Like, these guys are doing a great job. Like, they're really, I think I got the power level just about right, because I mean, these fights are hard, but they're winning. So like, it's going, I mean, pat myself on the back. I think they're going really well. Everybody's on the edge of their seat. Like, they know, like, if they get like several bad rolls in a row, like, this is gonna go the other way. So like, that's cool. After they killed everybody, they tried to go to, they said, do we feel, does it feel tranquil in here? Do we feel like we'd be able to go to sleep? Like, if we stop and just meditate, like, just take a short rest. Like, can we tell if we could take a long rest now? And I'm like, no, it doesn't feel the same. Like, you feel like you're being watched. And they're like, crap. So, and he's like, well, who would be watching us? And they're all like, the guy, like the Lich guy, and Beauregard, so Beau the cleric, who was Dayton, who's no longer with us. He was having visions of the hags. He's been having visions of the hags since we finished Twilight Marsh. Like, he's been haunted by these visions. Like, since he joined the party, he was basically sent here on a mission to meet Uriel and to come to the tomb. So he's like, it's probably the hags. And they're all like, the hags? What do you mean the hags? And he's like, yeah, I told you about the hags, like the 3 hags. And they're like, well, I mean, how can they watch us? And I gave everybody religion rolls for their planar knowledge. I gave everybody arcana rolls. I gave everybody, nature rolls. I gave them, anybody could roll any sort of knowledge that they had to see what they knew about hags. So everybody rolled, and like, most of them didn't know anything, but one of them rolled well. I think it was Steema. I think Steema rolled pretty well, and it was a religion, so she knew, they come from the Grey Waste, and in the Grey Waste they trade souls, and souls are used like currency for lots of different things. You can use them to craft magic items. You can use them as fuel for magical effects. They give, power to devils and demons and things like that. And yeah, they're kind of extra planar, at least the night hags, which is what these are. And they're like, oh, night hags haunt your dreams and stuff. And they were trying, I had set a threshold as to knowing if they were ethereal or not, and they didn't know that they were ethereal, or that they could be ethereal and watch everybody, but then they knew a little bit more about hags. And Uriel's like, fucking these stupid hags. He's like, I ain't scared of no hags. He's like, here's the thing, if they're watching us, can they hear us? And they're all like, I mean, probably, yeah. And he's like, hey, you stupid hag, why don't you come out and fight us fair and square? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you hear a laugh. Like, you hear an echoey, like, ghostly laugh. Like, she's mocking you. Like it's better for her that you know that she's there, because now you're tortured all that much more. And they're like, damn. So they go up, they go all the way back to that hallway of decay, the hallway where everything gets destroyed. And they go up, it's called a Mechanus chain, or Mechanus chain, Mechanus. So there's 2 planar vortices, and in between is a chain going up and a chain going down, and they wrap around an axle, and that supplies the power for the soulmonger. So that's like the power source. It's like an extra planar, unlimited source of infinite power, right? And so they hear that and they see that and they go up to it, and they're supposed to, as soon as anybody goes out on the balcony, they're supposed to get attacked by the Modrons, and it's 9 Quadrons and 1 Penadrone. I was like, that's just too much. Like, if I put that's 36 arrows per round that the Quadrones would attack with, and personally, they're lawful, neutral, and they're intelligent. I would have them focus fire. So they would all focus fire on one target until it went down, and then they would all focus fire on another target. And like, I had already planned to play these guys very smart, and I know that they were going to be tough. So I decided that I wasn't going to spawn them until somebody touched the chain or tried to do something to the axle, right? There needed to be like a triggering event. There needed to be something that happened to call them out. So just walking out on the balcony was not enough. So they go out on the balcony and they look up, and like 100 feet up above them in this cylindrical cavern is a lightning-filled planar vortex with the chain coming in and out of that. And they look down and they see 15 feet below on the other side of the passage is another balcony, so they can jump from here down to that balcony, but they're going to have trouble getting back. And then they look down more and they see the axle, and then another like 150 feet down is another planar vortex. So they know if they fall, they're going to fall through this planar vortex. I give them rolls on that. They all know planar vortexes are very, very bad for life. So they're like, we don't really want to mess with that too much. They couldn't see down the hallway on the other side. And then they were like, we really need to rest. I guess we're going to have to go downstairs. So that's where we left it, that they were going to go downstairs and basically encounter the hags or the hags familiars or whatever the heck they are, proxies. They're going to go down there. They're going to see that stuff. I don't know why the hags would allow themselves to be killed. So that's kind of where I am with it right now. Is I don't know what to do with the hags. I don't know how I'm going to play the hags exactly. They have all the skulls. They can open the key. They can do those doors pretty easily. They just need to figure them out. I don't think that's even going to be especially time consuming. But this whole session, they spent the entire session without going to any of the things that I prepared. I prepared the Modrons, and I had reviewed the Sohn sisters, the hags, what they were going to do, and their I'm going to call them proxies. I don't know. They're little stuffed animals with souls in them and stuff. So I was going to do a fair amount of role playing in there, and I thought the fight with the Modrons was going to wipe them out, but oh no, they went and had 2 very large fights. So now they're totally wiped. I haven't given them any levels of exhaustion, but they are very, very, I mean, if they don't go downstairs, if they have another fight, I'm going to hit them with the exhaustion. I did explain to them if they tried to rest and were unsuccessful, they would gain exhaustion. So at this point, they're just kind of dragging themselves around. They've lost so much of their gear. These last 2 sessions have really ground them down. They haven't felt the tomb-like effects, right? Tomb of Horrors, Tomb of Annihilation. Like, they haven't felt that grinding away until like the last 2 sessions, and now it's starting to seem a little bit hopeless, or a little more hopeless. So I don't know, I guess we'll see. But they didn't do anything that I thought they were going to do, but it was a good time. Everybody was on the corner of their seat. Everybody had a great time. Lots of talking. I did snacks again. People weren't really even interested in my snacks. I was like, what are you talking about? This is good stuff. They weren't really. I had like smoked almonds, and I had cheese and crackers, and I had dips and veggie, and I had everything. No interest. I think they feel weird about it. So I don't know what I'm going to do next time. I'll probably just have like one thing, maybe. I don't know. So many variables. So ready to be done with this dungeon crawl. I can't wait to be done. I can't wait to see how they pull through, if they pull through. We've almost done it. And then I got the Planescape box set. So I've been looking through that. I'm a big Planescape fan. Reviewing that adventure. It's kind of cliche, but I mean, it is very much the Planescape type of adventure with the amnesiac hero and all of that, like Torment or the Lady of Pain or any of those books. Is pretty much, I mean, when you're in Planescape, when you die, you go through the river Styx and you get amnesia. So everybody has amnesia in the planes. So I mean, that's kind of part and parcel, or par for the course, or however you want to say it. So this is what it is. I'm going to read it a little bit more. Again, if it's cliche to me, it may not be cliche to all these players. Again, they haven't been playing as long as I have. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm having fun with it. Hopefully you're enjoying my digests here. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. I'll be coming back after our November session. The group that I'm playing in, we had a great session just last night. Amazing. So much fun. So many laughs. Love those people. And D&D is the best. I'm sorry for so many people that are like, I'm trying to find a different game system. D&D's too fill in the blank. D&D is great, especially find the right people. Keep searching until you find the right people. I found a couple more people recently. I'm going to get them into the mix. I may have to change up the mix. We'll see. Get the right people. It's amazing. it's so much fun. So social. So creative. It's a great outlet. So, till next time, have a great time. I love you. Game on.